Good afternoon, everybody. So today I'm going to demonstrate the entity fields report. So this will be a new module that will be published on Drupal.org in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Basically it's turning fields into data, understanding them, and also learning from this report as well. For today's agenda, we've got about me, user story, why do we actually do this, the solution, and then also a showcase of the report. So about me, technical lead at Salsa Digital, based in South Australia, in Adelaide, where it's currently sunny, but hopefully it will stay sunny. Enjoying Drupal, trying to contribute most as I can, and also learning from new technologies coming up. So the user story. The owner asked us, please, can you convert a Civic theme or a Drupal site into Civic theme? Now, some of the questions that will pop up is like, okay, we need to do migration, okay, migration of fields, so we need to do fields mapping. So fields mapping means we need to find out what fields are being used, and we're going to map it to the new content type fields that they've got. Now, understanding what's in your system, okay, let's look at Drupal, go into Drupal backend and see there is no report to give you this information. Hey, how I'm going to get this data out of the CMS so I know what to migrate and how to migrate it. So the next step is starting asking questions. So I'm very afraid as the owner, I'm looking at what's in my system. Is this fields being used? Is it not being used? Is this field being used too much that will cause performance as well? What's the meaning of this field? It doesn't make sense. So this is the type of questions that will come out of the fields report that you will see. Is like, am I really going to use this field? Yes, no. Can I remove it? Hopefully we can. So yeah, then the notes. So the next one is, let's hit SQL, okay, because there's no other way, no other tool that's available. Let's hit SQL. I'm a SQL guru, and as you can see, there's a lot of flaws in the SQL. So for example, status only equals 1. What about state non-published? That's disabled or unpublished. And then you can also delete it, deleted 1, deleted 0. All of those questions are SQL nightmares for me. And then also, did I do a left join instead of a right join? Did I join the tables correctly? Am I getting duplicate data because my join is incorrect? It's just a nightmare, to say the least. So this is the reason why I decided, let's use a module. Let's create a report that anybody else can use and can leverage from this nightmare that we were in. So the solution is first check Drupal.org. See what's on Drupal.org. Is there a module that I can leverage from? Now, there's 3 modules that I want to mention. So better fields report, very nice report, very clunky. I think they can do a bit more cleanup on top. And maybe some export functionality on that as well will make that report or module a bit more useful. Then the entities reports, I don't want to talk about that one. What a nightmare. And then the last one that I really enjoyed was the content model and site document. So this gives you more information, but it didn't give me exactly what I wanted at the end of the day. So from the 2 reports, the number 1 and number 3, I would recommend them if you want to use them. You can. They are good, sufficient, but I think mine is a bit more. So let's start. So once the module is enabled, you can get a report under the report, and it's under the report tab, and you will see you can have groupings. So your groupings is based on all of these fields that you've got available. So field ID, entity type, entity bundle, widget type, and widget modules. And so you can group them accordingly. I will show you a demo later. Very nice to do this grouping, to understand your fields. But what's nice is all of those drop downs are not hard coded. It is what's in your system. So if you've got 50 fields in your system, it will show you 50 fields in your system. It will tell you where it's actually being used, if it's used in a block, media, nodes, paragraphs, even users. And what's nice about it, you can export the results. So if you're a SQL guru, do export and you can do your manipulation in Excel and get the correct response. So this is an example of one of the fields. So it's field components. It will tell you what entity type it's linked to. So it's currently all nodes at this moment. And then also what node content entity, what content type it's linked to. So you will see there's a video, organization, and website, for example. Now, on the far right-hand side, you will see there's a count. Now, the count means it's a count of nodes, or it's a count of users, a count of paragraphs where it's linked on. You can export just this line with the 59 records inside it. This will give you a bit more narrowed down information around what are you trying to achieve. Now, some of the questions that we saw in that one slide is what fields are being used. Now, you will see there's a few that's 0. Are they meant to be 0? If not, maybe I might have made a mistake in my migration. Or maybe it's a field that it's unwanted. We don't need this field anymore. Let's start doing a cleanup of my Drupal system. And maybe this will increase your performance as well. So this is the outcome of the module. There's a lot of grouping that you can leverage from. It's clarity on the fields that you've got in your system, in your Drupal CMS. And then you've got comprehensive drop-down list that you can filter down accordingly, identify the fields that need to be removed, and can also improve your performance on that as well. Then quickly access of your nodes via the export of your CSV and getting all the node IDs that you can leverage from. And then very important for migrations, okay, you enable this module before you do your migration, that you can see what's in your database inside Drupal. And then once your migration is done and you done all the movement of your content types to the new content types, you execute it again to see, did it behave accordingly? So if there's supposed to be 10 items being moved, did 10 actually move? Okay, and this report will tell you that. Just the process flow. There's a lot of people that don't know around the process flow around creating a new module. So firstly, you do check Drupal.org, see if there's a module suitable for your need. If there is nothing, okay, then we start creating one. Or you can, if there is one, you can start updating that one as well. Okay, so contribute back to what a different developer also published. Now, Drupal code standards is very important. When you on your module, make sure there is tests. Okay, if there's no test, it will fail your Drupal security advisory because they want tests. We do pre-checks. Okay, for your code sniffer, your PHP stand, PHP unit. The reason for this is if you look at the next step in your pipeline, those will actually be executed as well. And then once your pipeline executes, there's 3 stages in the pipeline. It builds your code, it checks the validation, and then also do your unit testing as well. Now, before you submit it for Drupal security advisories, make sure that everything is passing. All your pipelines are successful before you go to your before you submit your issue for security advisories. The one check that they will do, and it's the first comment in Drupal security advisories, is that you do all of your unit testing. Okay. Then I'm going to showcase the module for you. The Civic theme, very pretty. Okay, let's go over to the reports. You will see it's the entity field report. because it's a report at the end of the day. It's not a structure or appearance or extend or configuration that you're going to set. It is a report. So let's click on it. As you can see, this is a small site, so it actually loads very quickly. If you've got a site that has hundreds of fields, it will take a little while to execute, but at the end of the day, you will get your proper results accordingly. So currently it is filtered by field ID. So the body field, okay, is used on blocks and nodes. Now, why isn't it used on these blocks? Is because maybe it's not being used. Let's remove it. Okay, or maybe there's a fault in the content tab that does allow you to actually use it. So, for example, it's on a block, but it's hidden. So a content editor, when they update, it's missing because it's hidden. So those type of questions will rise from this. If I go a bit more down to actually there's still blocks. I just want to go to a node, for example. This is a field content components also used on blocks and nodes. You will see some of them are obsolete. So this tells me, my migration did take place. Why didn't something happen? So for example, this one, there's 8, it's obsolete. Question, raise, question, see why something did not happen. Let's go a bit more down. It does users as well. So we don't normally add fields to users. Okay, apologies, Siri is talking to me again. So on media as well, let's go down. There's all media, it's fun. Okay, let's use this one, for example. It's linked to 33 nodes. So let's click on this one. And this will tell you, okay, it's used on this. It is active, okay. This is the media ID. If it was a node, it will be node ID. And then you can see all the list that's available. Now, are they correct? Let's go see. You can click on edit. So there is permissions on this edit as well. So if you are not admin or you don't have the right permissions, you will not see an edit button. You will only see a view button. And for example, this is also a view as such. You can do a full exports as well on the previous tab, but you can go back to the full report accordingly or just move back. So just go back to the top. I want to show you functionality around the grouping. So as you can see, we've got your entity types. So there's 5 of them there. So I want to go according to paragraph. So entity types. And I do my filter. And there we go. So everything under block, everything under media, and there's my nodes. So you can see which nodes are being used, which fields under a node is not being used, which ones are used a bit more. So for example, the color of your node is being used 162 times. Very nice. And you can also do an export. So if you click on export, it will actually download your CSV file for you and you can open it in Excel. Yeah, so that's basically the module, what it does. There's filter criteria around the fields you've got in there. And yeah, you've got your full exports as well. So hopefully this gives you some insights around your fields, what's in Drupal, and your migration as such. Any questions?
Hey, Kobus. There's a token Drupal channel. They do like module of the week. We ever considered like submitting the module there? You can get a chance to talk about it there also.
Yes. So how did I start this module? The first thing was, let's use IR. Let's see what it populates for me and see if it's good enough for leveraging from. So the first 2 tries that I done, it didn't get a module perfect to my perfection, but the third one was very detailed. Okay, so I went more like a script that I want. So I want this field, I want that. I want it to be looked at must be a menu item. There must be filter criteria. So I went in depth in my request to get the right response. A lot of the things it did not do. So I've added that in as well. And then also styling, I also added in as well. And then CSV exports, added functionality on top of that.
Sorry. I meant there's actual community called talkingdrupal.com, and they feature new modules, so you can like request
submit the module there so that they can talk about your module. But before that, I would actually ask you a question, Kobus. Have you actually created this module on Drupal.org yet or not?
Not yet. I'm still busy with the unit testing. I have started with testing, but it's not done yet. As soon as that's done, it'll probably be in the next week or two. Then I will start publishing it on Drupal.org.
Okay.
I will share internally as well when it's ready.
Yeah. And what Sean is trying to say is he's put a link in the chat here. So once you have submitted the module and even your earlier module, the content reports module, maybe you can go to talkingdrupal.com, module of the week, and go and say, hey, I've created this module if you would like to talk about it or something like that.
Thank you. Very interesting. I don't know about this one.
All right. Any more questions? Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, Kobus, for your presentation. All right, everybody else, do we have anything that you want to talk about today? March, I understand. So normally we do our meetups on Wednesday, but because yesterday the ACT meetup was already planned, that's why we are doing this on a Thursday today. March, do you want to talk about yesterday's meetup?
I can. So there's about 20 people that turned up in person, about 6 online. Kobus actually came along. That was pretty cool. We had, I'm not sure what you'll know about it, but there was an opening slide thing that I do, just all the events coming up. Then Mike Richardson talked about Nara. Then I did a talk about my new role, like sort of going into a new job, not about all the things I do, but all the things that have happened along the way over the last like 6 or 7 weeks. And then Pat and Quinn from Annex did this really funny presentation. Quinn, who is not a developer, decided to spin up her Starshot or Drupal CMS site because it's not meant, you don't have to be a developer to do stuff. So between him not really knowing what to do and just being a funny person, he went to ChatGTP and just did this hilarious looking site. And then we went to the pub. I'm not sure what else there is to say, really.
Yeah. Did you by any chance record that one? I would be really keen to watch that. Okay, sound good.
Nah. Not the pub bit.
Nah.
Not the pub. I'm talking about the earlier one, not the pub one.
Yeah, nah. We used to, but then I don't know, sort of stopped doing it. I don't know. I don't know if either the talks last night were really worth recording. There weren't really sessions about something like this which should be recorded. They were sort of more just
having fun.
How did the
having
Drupal
fun.
CMS build go, Marge? Did he get anywhere?
No, he got a site up and running locally. And then it was partly that, and then partly so Pat is I can't remember his role. Like he's in charge of all the devs there. But he also did something where he asked ChatGPT to do a chatbot using something that sounded like Quinn, like a response that he would sort of have. So it's pretty funny. So the crowd put their hand up and asked questions. I'm not sure. Kobus, did you have a different
experience
view on it, or yeah?
I must say the questions that was asked to the bot and how the bot responded, I think that was excellent. but also in the same
Yeah.
tone as the speaker, because he speaks a certain
Yes.
way, and the bot actually mimicked that. So I found that very interesting.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was just really funny, which was always good.
All right, cool.
No worries.
Anything else anybody wants to talk about? By the way, just a reminder, DrupalCon Japan, the last date for submissions is tomorrow. Tomorrow, end of the day, Japan time. So if somebody is thinking about submitting something, please go ahead and submit. And if there's nothing else from anybody, yeah, that was a quick, short meetup this time. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thanks, Suchi.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Kobus.
Bye.
Bye-bye.